Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Matters That Matter. I'm Simran and I'm in a conversation with my mentor, Suzy Singh. Suzy, everybody knows that they have emotions, but not many people know how to get in touch with them or what to do about them once they get in touch with them. So, today I want to ask you how to self diagnose, how to get in touch with whatever emotion it is that you're feeling.
Okay, so I'm going to spell out the process for processing emotions today. And the two tools that are going to be absolutely critical for doing that are your awareness and your attention. Now, for people who are not very clear about these two terms, I'm just going to spell out for them what these two terms mean. When you wake up in the morning from your sleep, from your dream state, and you become aware of your body, your surroundings, the fact that you've woken up in the same place that you went to sleep in at night, that state is your awareness. You are now aware that you possess a body, you are aware that you're in your bed. So that is exactly how we become aware of what is happening in our minds. The second state is attention. Often when we are doing some work and we are very deeply engrossed in that work, we can not even realize when somebody comes and leaves a cup of coffee on the table, because all of our attention is so wonderfully gathered and focused upon the task at hand. So here we can clearly see that our attention is collected and pinpointed towards the task. Now, these are exactly the two mind states that we will have to employ when we work with our emotions. So for the purpose of self-diagnosing, I have developed an acronym, a method which I call Settling Your Emotions, SETL. And this is so that everyone can very easily remember that when they are upset, agitated, or when they are choosing to work with their emotions, how to quickly recall the steps. Let's say that you are in a conversation and you've been triggered or you've been agitated. Then the very first thing that you need to do is to remove yourself from that situation, find a safe place, and a place where no one will disturb you, at least for the next couple of minutes when you're attending to your emotions.
Yeah.
And if you are doing this as part of a regular and daily process to practice what we've referred to in other videos as emotional hygiene, or a regular everyday practice of attending to the emotions that may have got locked or trapped in your body, then of course you will anyway create separate time and place for that exercise. But regardless, step one is find a safe place where you will not be disturbed. Sit very comfortably, and then using your awareness, bring your attention to the S of the settle, which is what are the physical sensations in my body. So let us say that you've actually been in an agitated state, so there is an active trigger in your body at that point in time. It's very easy to connect with the sensation. If you are doing the latter, which is it's a daily practice of cleaning your emotions, then you need to scan your day and see, okay, what upset me today? Go to that particular memory, recall or relive that memory, and that will allow you to get into the active triggered state. So once we have either we are actively in the trigger or we have recalled a memory to connect with our trigger, we go to the sensations in the body. And using your full attention, making it one-pointed. First thing is check your breathing. Is it rapid or shallow? Is your body crouched and closed, or is it agitated and angry? Is it, are your fists tight? Is your mouth dry? Do you feel a churning in the pit of your stomach? Do you feel something rising up inside of you like it wants to come up, or you want to throw up? So those are the kind of physical sensations. Is there a tightness in any part of your body? Or
Right.
do you find that there is a moving pain in your body? People can suddenly become aware that I have pain in my shoulders, or there is something gripping and clutching at my heart, or my jaw has become extremely tight, or I'm clenching my teeth, which even moments before they are completely unaware of. So simply the act of becoming aware and choosing to attend to that trigger, and then bring your attention to the sensation, and you will be able to scan all of these sensations. Now, for someone who's doing this practice for the very first time, I suggest that they spend a couple of days developing, honing, and mastering this practice, because if you've been doing this, then it is really simple and spontaneous. But if it is the first time you're attempting it, then it takes a little getting into the practice for it. So,
Right.
what's going to happen once we get in touch with that uncomfortable feeling? So let's say I can feel my stomach gripping now, and I can feel something rising inside of me. At this point, a lot of people are going to turn around and want to stop the practice and say,
Yeah.
don't want to do this. And we have to recognize that that's going to be your first obstacle to processing your feeling, because it's the fear arising in you, something that you have avoided all of these years, something that your habit mind has told you never to address and to just brush under the carpet or repress. You're now choosing to go in there. So it's like going into a dark black closet that you haven't been, and your childlike mind is scared of the ghosts that you're going to find hiding in there. So there's going to be a fear of feeling the feeling. When we encounter this, and we, with our awareness, recognize this is going on in my mind right now, that's the time that we have to make the declaration to our own selves: it is safe for me to feel this feeling now. It is safe for me to feel this feeling now, because the mind has to be reassured that there's no physical danger or threat.
Right.
That declaration allows you to feel safe. So we once again, our attention would have wandered off in the meantime while all of this is happening, and it happens in nanoseconds. So we bring our attention right back to the uncomfortable sensations, or the S of the settle, and we refocus the attention there, gathering it once again into a pinpointed focus to scan the body and see where the discomfort is.
Right.
As we engage with this process the second time round, we're suddenly going to encounter all sorts of distracted thoughts entering my mind. I will remember, I forgot to put that in the fridge, or maybe there isn't enough water in the refrigerator, or I forgot to call my friend back, and a million other thoughts are going to invade your mind. Now we have to recognize what's happening here. You've been doing this exercise for a while, so you are familiar with it, right, Simran? At this stage, you realize that there is a feeling that I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this because it's going to be difficult. Maybe I don't want to discover what lies beneath. And therefore, the second declaration needs to be made, which is, I am choosing to do this. Right. So when we find that I don't want to do it, we have to reaffirm the declaration. I am making an active choice. I am choosing to do this. And we repeat, we gather our attention, bring it right back to the discomfort in our bodies. And it's sounding like a hurdle race, but you are going to encounter the distracting thoughts a third time over. And this time the mind is just going to want to abort the exercise. Your body will get restless. You'll want to get up and say, remember a million things. There'll be logical excuses your mind will give you to abort the practice and say, acha, abhi nahi, I'll do it another time. And that's because at this point in time, the I don't know how to do it is going to arise. And that's when you're going to declare to yourself, I am ready, willing, and able to do this. So this is when we have really now fortified our commitment and our will and our intention and our declaration to go into that uncomfortable zone. We will probably start feeling the fullness of the uncomfortable sensations, and we have to continue reassuring ourselves and almost cheering ourselves to say, help me feel this feeling fully. And we have to magnify that uncomfortable feeling. Now, at this point, you can see it is going to take courage, because on the one hand, we are saying it's an uncomfortable feeling. On the other hand, we are saying, let's cheer you on and allow you to feel more and more uncomfortable. Right? So you magnify that feeling, and then you ask yourself a simple question, which is the second part of the settle, which is the E, the emotion. And you say, what emotion is associated with this uncomfortable sensation in my body? Now, if I find that my fists are tightening, my jaw is tight, my throat is going dry, and my body is becoming sort of more powerful, then I know this looks like anger. And if I find that my body is shrinking like that, and there is this terrible feeling of my stomach knotting, and I have sweaty palms, and it's probably fear. Now, anger and fear are the two emotions that most people who are not familiar with their emotional language will definitely feel. Those who are more emotionally expressed are likely to feel the other feelings like shame or guilt or apathy or grief or sadness or jealousy, and a whole range of other, you can say, primary and secondary feelings are there, which as they learn to process their feelings, they will identify them going on. Right. So at this stage, we need to call out the emotion. So let's say the emotion is anger, and you just say, Suzy is feeling angry. Just call it out, because calling it out then allows the mind to further bring the attention into sharp focus about, okay, what I am working with and what I must allow to move through my body with my breath is the anger that is stuck inside me, because that anger did not have an opportunity when I had the experience to move through my body because I blocked it. Yeah. And now that anger is lying trapped inside of me, and the whole point of processing this feeling is to allow that anger to flow freely and move itself out of my body so that it doesn't stay trapped and it doesn't continue to cause me harm. Right. So, having called out the emotion, we then go to the third part of the settle, which is the thought. Now, we don't or can't feel our feeling until there is an associated thought in the mind, which we may or may not be aware of. But if we ask ourselves that question, if we probe that, okay, what is going on in my mind as I feel this? We will become aware somewhere in the shadows of our mind, or somewhere like the background music, there will be either a recurring dialogue, or there will be some negative self-talk that is occurring, and that will give you an indication of what thought brought about this biochemical response in your body, which you are feeling as an emotion. So let's say, for an example, we work with fear. We feel that we've identified fear, we've called it out, I am feeling fearful, and then we realize that the thought that is going on at the back of my mind is that, oh, the electrician came to fix the fuse this morning, and maybe I've contacted the virus from him. We didn't even realize it because we don't know the background music in our heads. We are not that aware, but we are working with the fear and we've asked that question. We will identify the thought that is causing this biofeedback response in my body. And then that brings me to the L of the settle, which is we then stop that thought and we ask ourselves, okay, why do I believe that I would have contacted the virus? And we sit quietly observing the emotions, the sensations that are still rising and playing havoc in us, still trying to move out of our body. We are aware of the thought, and now we will find, like, bubbles rising from the bottom of the ocean, you'll find the answer to that question rising, and you may find, well, I think I came too close to him when I was talking to him. I didn't keep a distance of 6 feet or 10 feet. So there's regret over there. I should have done something differently. Or there may be, I should never have called him. So what if I didn't get the fuse repaired? Or there may be that I deserve to be punished, and it could go on. I deserve to fall sick. I'm definitely going to get the virus, and I'm definitely going to die. So you may find a series of this kind, and those thoughts will vary with each one of us depending upon what lies in our mind and what is our worldview and what is our relationship with our own self and how we view our own self and our life. And having found those, we then are in touch with several other hidden, nesting emotions. So now we see there's not just fear. There may be regret, remorse, there may be guilt, there may be some shame, there may be the feeling of grief and sadness, and we have access to feel each one of those. Now we can attend to each one of those if we are able to separate them. If they all look like one muddy cocktail, it's okay to just sit with those thoughts, allow those thoughts, not engage with them. This is a very important part, because the normal response of the human mind is to get entangled in those thoughts and to multiply those thoughts, so you'll actually engage with the I don't deserve to, and those negative thoughts will start looping in our mind. If we do that, what we are going to do is we are going to make the uncomfortable emotions multiply in us. And the objective of processing the emotion is actually to reduce them and neutralize them. So we have to be very careful at this point in time that we cut the chain of negative mental thoughts. We become aware of them. We ask the question, we've got the answer. We are now actively reflecting on that. And we are saying, is this really true? Is it really true that I deserve to die? Now, when we've done that, what we've actually enabled in ourselves is the cognitive mind, which is the prefrontal cortex, part of the mind that can reason, has been engaged with. It's the instinctive mind that tells me that I'm going to die. It's the judging mind that's going to tell me that I've contracted the virus. But now my thinking mind, when I say, is this really true? Well, I deserve to die. Why should that be true? And the whole act of engaging with the prefrontal cortex means that you engage with your compassion, you engage with your understanding, you engage the cognition, and you're able to let that false belief come to light, and you can see it's false and it is no longer valid. So at this point in time, this is the time that you can make an active contrarian declaration, acknowledging what is happening in your mind and yet saying that it does not apply to you. So you say, even though I believe that I may have contacted the virus, I am choosing to increase my body's immunity instantly. I am choosing to fortify my entire being and all my cells. If there is an infection, it is fought off instantly. If there is no infection, I make my boundaries much more powerful. So here I can see that I have come to the defense of my cellular structure immediately. And I have also disallowed the negative limiting beliefs from building and becoming stronger or gathering force on me and actually attracting the virus, even though I may not have caught it in that instant. So as you can see, this is a delicate process, not possible without both active awareness and one-pointed attention. It can instantly make you feel lighter in your head and in your body, because if you've got a headache and you can't understand why you've suddenly come on with a headache, it's because of those fearful beliefs that you're feeling this way. So you will find it has a very powerful and almost instantaneous soothing and calming effect, because the disturbing emotions have been dealt with in a very loving way. So this SETL, bring your attention to the sensations, call out or name the emotion, identify the associated thought that triggered off that entire biochemical response in your body, and then identify the deeper associated logic and use and activate your prefrontal cognition and compassion to be able to deal with it in a very gentle and loving manner. So once the cloudiness or the blurring of the emotions has been attended to, engaging the logic becomes far easier for us.
So first the emotion needs to be felt, and then we need to engage with the thoughts by reasoning with them instead of getting sucked into their logic and getting lost in them. And I think another very interesting point you made was that if emotions are left unattended in us, they can show up as a lot of pains and aches in our bodies, which people struggle to find reasons for often. So, why is this happening to me all of a sudden? All right. Thank you so much, Suzy, for giving us the process by which we can practice emotional processing. If you find this video helpful and useful, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.